My name is Falk and this is Lowcoder. Our aim is to provide you the very best, most modern and versatile application development platform that exists. And so we develop a lot of features. Every some weeks we release and magic functions appearing everywhere. Some of them we really need to describe, and therefore here's our series of tutorial videos so you can access all the value that is already possible and find also the magic hidden functions that are already offered inside of our platform. And now let's start. One of the very good use cases for a temporary state is to buffer and to change the data coming from a data query. You know, you can bind any data query directly to our components, like a table, for example. Sometimes it makes a lot of sense to not bind it directly, but to buffer it in between, to have a local object representation of that data query, and you can make local modifications to that data and then process it further. For that, you use a temporary state. I did prepare it a little bit. We have here a query that gives us data from continents and countries back. It's just a service, very nice one actually, that gives, based on a GraphQL query, this data back. Now, if I bind this directly to a table, I certainly can do, but I miss a fantastic feature. Our table also can have hierarchical data, but the data that comes directly from this GraphQL doesn't reflect exactly the structure that we would need to make use of that feature in the table. So I wrote a small JavaScript that would be able to turn the data in an organized way into a hierarchic representation, so we can bind then this to the table. Yes, I could now go on and bind the result of this JavaScript directly to the table, but that's not entirely what I want to demonstrate. So in this JavaScript, we just take the output of everything and bind this to the temporary state, to this one. So whenever I have the countries data query triggered, I can automatically do it. Here I do it by hand. I want to split it a little bit. And then the data goes to our temporary state, hierarchic countries. I hope there's someone who can spell this pretty right. It's a tongue breaker, we say in Germany. Zungenbrecher. So now we have here you see that, a hierarchical representation of the continents, the countries, and then of the states inside of the countries, if there are any. There's a wishful result, and my table, I actually did not bound to the query, neither to the JavaScript query, but directly to this hierarchical state. And now we can look inside, and we see here that we have possibility to look for the hierarchical results from the data that we have. Now, what is helpful that I can block a little bit the data query from direct manipulating the table. That means when I would run it one more time, the initial data query, it does not reflect now data directly to the table. And that is really helpful in many of cases when you would like to do something before you show data, or if you have them editable in the table, for example, to deal locally with the data before you hand them over to a data query that would save the results. And for this reason, to manipulate data locally, or to have even, for example, a small form that you would use to manipulate what is inside of a table or displayed in any other component, you make use of this temporary state. We hope you enjoyed these tutorials, and if you like it, please like it. Share it with your colleagues, with partners and other people that may be interested to create apps really fast.